Hey guys, Neo here. You might be wondering why I'm dressed like a fucking furry. Well, that's because today we're doing a video on Sonic the Hedgehog. But not just Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. Now you might be wondering, oh, the camera looks a little bit better and the quality's pretty good. But probably just gonna be for a video or two, because I have to shoot a film for college. And they gave us these nice DVXs to use. So I was like, fuck it, I paid for this essentially with my tuition. I'm gonna fucking use it. So enjoy the good quality while it lasts, because that's as good as it's gonna get. So basically, I review a video game, maybe a movie, I don't know, to the best of my God-given ability. Now, this series actually started with Bubble Bobble 2. I just didn't have a name yet. I still don't have a name. It's it's hard to think. So you'll see a name on the video. That's what I came up with because I'm an idiot. So basically, I just seriously and wholeheartedly review whenever I'm reviewing. Give the good, the bad, the final verdict, why the whole shebang. It's your basic kind of review. So today we're gonna be looking at everyone's favorite Sonic game, Sonic 06. Now this game gets a fuck ton of hate, but here and there's still some love for the game. Because this was supposed to be Sonic's money shot for the upcoming console generation and anniversary game, fans were pretty fucking hyped for it. I remember being hyped for it, and I was in middle school, I think. So yeah, I thought it was like, fuck yeah, new Sonic game. It looks cool. There's robots. The graphics. Ooh. It looked good, and then it came out. Now, a video got leaked to the public before E3, and I'm pretty sure it was just CG. It wasn't like any gameplay, but it still got people hyped for it. And then eventually there was a playable demo with Sonic and Silver, and in that demo, yeah, it was kind of buggy, but it's a fucking demo, and it looked pretty good still. But the finished product wasn't really close to what that demo was. The demo lived up to a lot of fans' expectations, and they were eventually just like, holy fucking shit, we're finally getting Sonic Adventure 3, and no, that's not what happened. Instead, we got what many call a rushed game, no pun intended, which was ultimately Sega's decision, not Sony or Microsoft's. But is this game really as bad as everybody claims? Well, buckle your strap on because we're about to dive into Sega's sloppy seconds. Wow, that was terrible. Plot. I'm gonna try to speed through reading off the plot. I'm gonna talk at Sonic speed. So get ready. If you want to skip it, just click here, and you'll time skip in the video. I'm also just gonna read it off because I really don't feel like memorizing the whole plot I wrote down. The ever so great plot of this game follows an intertwined story focusing on Sonic, Silver, and Shadow as three main playable characters. Sonic starts with Soliana during the Festival of the Sun's opening ceremony, which by no surprise is crashed by Dr. Eggman. Eggman wants to flame the disaster from Princess Elise, so he captures her. Sonic comes in to save the day and rescues Princess Lottie, and the two escape. Shadow's story begins by Shadow attempting to rescue Rouge from Eggman's base, and we also find out that he's working for Gun. Shadow saves Rouge and the pair steal the Scepter of Darkness. Eggman chases after them and Shadow drops the scepter, releasing Mephiles. I forget how to say his fucking name. Mephiles. That's how you say his name. Eggman chases after them and Shadow drops the scepter, releasing Mephiles, who takes a similar form to Shadow. He then sends Shadow and Rouge to a post-apocalyptic future where Iblis and the Flames of Disaster fucking bodied everything. This is where Silver's plot begins, and he sends him back in time to kill Sonic. I'm gonna try to combine the rest of the stories into one now, because having three different arcs and trying to, you get it. Silver and Blaze get split up when they are transported, and Silver gets to watch Eggman's attack on Soliana. He runs into Amy, who agrees to help him find Sonic, and then ditches him once she finds out Silver wants to kill Sonic. Eggman then swoops right in and kidnaps Elise again, Tails helps Sonic rescue Elise again. Elise tells Sonic about the time Solaris, the sun god of her people, almost destroyed everything and fears Eggman wants to repeat history. Silver attacks the blue blare again, and Eggman kidnaps Elise again. Sonic go to Eggman's base to trade Chaos Emerald for the Thought, but he traps the trio and sends them into the future, where they meet up with Shadow and Rouge. Shadow says they need to perform Chaos Control to get back to the present. They find two emeralds and use Chaos Control, but as soon as they use them, Mephiles drops by and Shadow stays back to fucking fight him. In the present, Rouge gives him a Chaos Emerald, tells him to wait and stand by until he catches up with Shadow, which is in the future, but it becomes the present to help Shadow escape. time. Mephiles flees into the present and the two follow him. Silver fights Sonic again, but is stopped by Shadow, allowing Sonic to escape. Shadow and Silver go back in time to see the events of the Solaris Project, where basically Thoughty's daddy is experimenting on Solaris. He splits into two, Iblis and Mephiles. Shadow seals Mephiles in the Scepter, and Silver and Daddy seal Iblis and Elise's tears. After that, Daddy dies telling Elise to never cry or else the whole world is gonna fucking end. Then the two go back to the present. Silver tries to help Sonic, but Eggman's carrier crashes, killing Elise and Eggman. Silver sends Sonic back in time to save Elise, which he does. Team Shadow fails to seal Mephiles again, and he creates a fuck ton of clones. Shadow takes off his gold rings and plows through the clones like no problem. Silver and Blaze go back into the future to seal Iblis, and Blaze ends up sealing Iblis inside her after Silver fucking fails. Blaze heals herself and Iblis in another dimension, and yeah, that's the end of her. Mephiles survives Shadow's assault, and he goes back into the present and kills Sonic. Elise cries, and Iblis is now released. Everyone's fucked. Mephiles and Iblis do the fusion dance and merge into Solaris, who rips apart the space-time continuum. Everyone is in the same place now, and Silver says that the Chaos Emeralds can bring Sonic back. This seems awfully familiar. It's almost like there's another set of seven things that can bring people back to life. Elise, powered by the emeralds, kisses the dead animal. It brings Sonic back to life. Super Sonic, then Silver and Shadow also transform and defeat Solaris. Sonic and Authority go back in time to erase Solaris' existence. They find his first form, a small white flame. Elise blows it, and the flame is now gone, and the timeline is rebooted. The reboot retcons the whole game's plot, and the end. Now you see Sonic watching Elise at the festival, just like in the beginning. Okay. Woo. Now that long boring summary is over, let's talk about the plot. Now, the bad plot gets confusing. You have 3 stories that tie into one big story, but within those 3 stories, there's fucking multiple subplots. You can't wrap your head around it. It doesn't flow that good. There's plot holes, but the plot holes don't really matter to the story, but it just flip-flops too much. But other than that, I think the story's A-okay. The plot is a pretty good plot for a game, I have to say. Now, of course, it gets shit on for being too different, too dark, too realistic than a basic Sonic plot, but that doesn't automatically mean it's bad. It's refreshing to see a different type of story in a game that's mainly aimed towards children. Having Shadow work for Gun makes sense because they're like, oh shit, this guy could be a good asset to us after all the shit that happened in Shadow the Hedgehog, and they won't go after him anymore. And as you know, if he works for them, it's all good. It works out. He's like, okay, now I'm basically a mercenary for them. Having Blaze die at the end was good anyway because she was useless, so that makes sense, and it gives you emotion. Oh no, Blaze dies, you cry, and you move on. And also, Sonic's death was a fantastic part of the game. It just goes to show that the hero doesn't always win, and it just adds to the realism in the darkness of the plot, which I again think is a good thing. It just makes the game more believable that the hero can't always live through a hard time, a hardship, or survive everything, and that hardship or hard thing is him dying. Not to mention, also gave us that memorable kissing scene, which I have no problem with. You wanna make out with an animal? You do you. I'm dressed like an animal right now. Can't judge. The time travel aspect was also implemented very well. At no point did it interrupt the plot, make it confusing, or add any big plot holes to it. It didn't destroy the story, and each time there was a time travel, or each time they traveled in time, whether it be back or forward, it always had a positive outcome. None of the characters caused a separate timeline to appear, or rips in time, anything like that. The only time there was a rip was when Iblis was mashed together. Now, because of there being no different timelines created from the time travel, it makes the story easier to follow and understand, and also it makes it easier to believe. Now, the last thing I'm going to mention is the ending. If that retcon didn't happen, then Amy would have some competition. I give the plot a solid, decent 7 out of 10. Gameplay. The gameplay is probably my favorite part of this game. Might be one of my favorites of any Sonic game. So, a majority of the time you play Sonic, Silver, or Shadow, alternating sometimes between Rouge, Omega, Tails, and when you get to the last part of the game, you play as everybody, because you gotta get the Chaos Emeralds for Sonic. Now, most of it all involves running, jumping on platforms, beating enemies, collecting rings, getting to the finish. That's the basic gist for everyone's main gameplay. Now, it differs with Sonic. Sonic's the same as he's always been. He has a homing attack still, all that shit. Sonic's the same. Shadow, sometimes he's driving in a vehicle, or he's running around like Sonic. And Silver uses telekinesis, and he's slower than both of them, but I think that's okay. It's refreshing to see a change of pace and play as a slower character versus running everywhere. Now, let's talk about the glitches. The glitches aren't that big of a problem to me. In fact, I enjoy the glitches because I don't think they're game breaking. They're nothing bad. They add to the challenge of the game, or they create a challenge for the game. Now, this game is pretty easy without the glitches. You can breeze through this, and I'm glad they're there because it lets me get more out of my money I paid, and it gives me more of a challenge to play and not get bored. Without the glitches, the game would have been a cakewalk, and I'm pretty sure they were put there on purpose. Some people might say that, oh, they're annoying, or, oh, it makes the game unplayable. People say that probably suck at the game and have probably never played another 3D Sonic game before where there are glitches, like Adventure, Adventure 2, Shadow the Hedgehog, Heroes, Unleashed. So basically, you're complaining, but almost every other 3D Sonic game is glitch infested, so there's can't really do that. It's kind of hypocritical. The load times, which is also something people fucking despise, is something I love because it A, gives me a break from the game, B, it lets me plan a strategy. Since the load times are long, it lets you think up what you're going to do when the game starts, how you're going to beat the level, etc. I like it. It helps me beat the game more, or it helps me beat the game more efficiently. I don't see why people hate the load times. They might be long, but you got to use that to your advantage. If they put that in there specifically, that's probably what it was put in there for. It'd be nice to see longer load times in future games because, to me, it's vital having that extra minute or two to plan your strategy. So the gameplay, I give probably a nice 8 out of 10.
The only thing that matters. Graphics.
Graphics were shit. Look, I was playing a fucking PS2 game. Cutscenes, erection worthy. That's it for graphics. The music. Sonic games usually have a pretty outstanding soundtrack. This is not one of those games. Now, I know I'm gonna get shit for this because everyone loves the soundtrack for this. I don't see why. It's overhyped, it's not enjoyable, it's nothing you haven't heard before. The main theme is basically a failed rap rock song with profanity in it, and I don't see why you'd have that in a Sonic song. Like, I kind of understand Shadow, but Sonic, you still gotta keep it PG. It just ruins the happy fun vibe that the game gives off. Solaris Phase 2 is nothing special. It's just a rehash of the main theme. Most of the stage background music is the same beat, the same chord progressions, just slightly altered. It's all repetitive and the same. There are a few standout tracks, like Silver and Shadow's themes, but that's about it. Music, I give probably a 2 out of 10. It's also worth noting, the multiplayer on this game, it's okay, it's pretty fun. It should have been online, but can't complain about it. It's still something to do if you had someone over. Be like, hey, let's play this game. And yeah, it's worth noting. It's pretty fun. Overall, I think Sonic 06 is a good game. The concept is pretty solid. The CG is really good. It's beautiful. And the character redesign is refreshing. It's nice to see. Yes, it has its flaws, but everything has its flaws. The game just needs to be properly finished, and I think it would turn out to be even better than what it already is. Even with the lack of speed and the lack of adventure features, the game is still pretty fun, and it wasn't just boost to win like more modern Sonic games are. It was essentially an adventure game, but people can't accept that because they don't like it. The game is just trying to be more than your everyday Sonic title, and the fan base just can't see that, and they won't get over it. They still have to shit on the game and bring it up even though it's been more than 10 years since its release. But that being said, gameplay is pretty good, plot's immersive and emotional, and the overall feel of the game is something that I personally really enjoy. Sonic 06 is definitely on par with Adventure 1 and 2, but it's right under Shadow, because to me that's a little bit more of a better game. Alright, thanks for watching the video. If you have any suggestions for what more games I should review, leave them in the comments. If you liked the video, comment. If you didn't, comment. If you didn't watch the video, comment. So yeah, gotta go fast.